Yuan Dawei is an architecture graduate of Tsinghua University, and he started the 3D printing company AOD in 2013. Yuan sent a message to a Tsinghua alumni chat group in March 2014, asking for help with funding his company. The effort paid off faster than he expected. In less than one day, he raised 4 million RMB, or $660,000 US. Most of Yuan's research and development members come from Tsinghua University. In just over a year, AOD's products went out to 24 Chinese cities.
最开始呢，我们可能希望做的是一个像苹果公司一样的事情，做一个软硬件一体化的研发。
At first, we wanted to be a company just like Apple, integrated research and development, core products. But then we found there's still a big hole in people's understanding of our products and the technology itself. So then we sought a more traditional approach, promoting and selling products through friends and agents. And now we are combining traditional sales, e-commerce and social media. In fact, our setting of business models changes on the basis of 1 year.
现在对商业模式的这种设定，基本上是以1年为单位的。
Yuan isn't the only one offering software, consultation and services while also selling 3D printers. Many spotted the trend even before developing their own products. That gives Yuan some concerns.
同质化还是比较严重。
First, I think homogenization is quite significant. Secondly, it's still quite unclear where and how exactly we apply the technology. And thirdly, we have many manufacturers but few salespeople who are equipped with knowledge about 3D printing.
Li Ke is one of the newcomers who see business opportunities in 3D printing. He quit his job as a manager at a global telecommunications company and started his own business in November 2013. Li learned after several months of market research that most of his peers don't have a clear target consumer group. But he does. Kids.
Once a friend said to me, I'm turning 40 and no longer that interested in new technology. But if you can make a 3D printer that's safe, cute, and not too expensive, I could get one for my kid. I thought that sounded like something I could work on.
Li then invited 24 friends and their young children into his lab.
I found that kids' perspectives are really different from adults. They like moving print heads, they get really excited just by looking at them. Also, they don't care about details. All they care about is just interesting shapes and colors. As long as it's a little toy, they can have fun with it for a long time. I thought that would allow me to avoid technology that's too complicated to be materialized.
Li then designed a 3D printer that has a safe lock to prevent children from touching the 200-degree print head and only a few simple control buttons. Kids can select and print a wide variety of toys from the company's website and iPad app. Li intends to sell each printer for 4,000 to 5,000 yuan. That's about $600 to $800. But it isn't the price he's worried about.
My competitors are those high-end, expensive electronic toys, such as a Lego robot, which costs 3,000 to 4,000 yuan. My competitors are these.
There are many ambitious men like Li who don't have a technical background in 3D printing, but are confident enough to seek a fortune in the field. Luo Jun, the General Secretary of the Industry Alliance, was once a print journalist and now spends his days trying to unite most of China's 3D businesses.
Our member companies are small and scattered, so we propose that they should form a collaborative alliance which can best serve the interests of most member companies.
Yet, it's still too early to tell how the game should be played.
You know, I think that 3D printing is very hyped right now, to use an American expression, and we're probably going to see a bunch of different players come and go over the next couple of years. But I think that, you know, ultimately the industry holds tremendous promise.
Well, experts believe 3D printing will have revolutionary impacts on the manufacturing industry. But what does it mean for a country like China? So Professor Jia, what does it mean for us? Will it threaten our economic vitality?
Well, I think that in the short run, 3D printing will be a supplement to the existing manufacturing process. It's a nice to have supplement, but it's not going to completely replace the existing process. But in the long run, I think it may have the potential to revamp the entire manufacturing landscape and to change the business models. And also with 3D printing, the waste, right, produced by molding will be significantly reduced, which is in line with now China trying to push for a green economy.
Let's talk about China versus the United States.
Sure.
So what are some of the special challenges and opportunities a country like China is facing in terms of the growth for 3D printing?
Right. Well, I think the number one challenge is actually technology. The 3D printing technology was originated in the United States and it was considered a latecomer to China. Right? So our own technological development is still lagging behind, especially on the software side. We still rely heavily on foreign expertise and foreign import. So we have to work harder, on that front. And second is policy. 3D printing related policies, the industry standards used to be lacking in China, but since 2013, actually we start to see new policies coming out to support the development of this particular sector. Another challenge is R&D, right? So if you look at 3D systems, a leading 3D printing company in the US, the company spends 8% of its annual revenue, right, into R&D. Right. So which is a pretty high percentage. Right. But if you look at China, I think most companies don't really spend that much, in development of new R&D 3D printing technologies. So we'll have to work harder on that. And also, if you look at the number of 3D related patents in China, last year, 2013, I think the total number of patents filed was only 17. Wow. Right? So this is definitely something we'll have to work harder about. And lastly is market concentration. This I actually think is an opportunity for China. Unlike United States, where half of the market are dominated by 3D System and Stratasys, these two leading companies. Right. In China, this sector is pretty much a blue ocean right now.
It's wide open.
Right. So if you look at the number of listed companies, so-called 3D printing concept company in China, there are currently 25 of them. And if you look at their market concentration, very little concentration.
Shared markets.
Right, here. Exactly. So that means there will be more opportunities for new companies to come in and take over the market.
So Professor, let's talk about specific entrepreneurial experience. This guy, Li Ke, he actually takes a more holistic approach. He provides a very complete experience, not only selling printers, but also providing services. What do you think about his strategy?
It's actually an interesting approach. I think instead of trying to target high-end customers that require sophisticated 3D technologies, Li Ke is able to identify so-called a blue ocean, right, in the mid to low-end market, right? And those consumers, they are less demanding on the technologies, so it's a market that's relatively easy to penetrate, so you can get your hands around it fairly quickly, right? And I think Li Ke's business idea, I think he's making toys, for the kids. This is actually not new. I think Disney has been working with Carnegie Mellon University for several years, and I heard they just came out with a 3D printer for toys, so you can now design and 3D print your stuffed animals like teddy bears, right? Which I thought is a really cute and nice upgrade of the like Build-A-Bear shop. I don't know if you've been to that shop in the US, right? So I think that's a nice upgrade.
Thank you for the great insights, Professor Jia, and thank you so much again for being here.
Thank you.
Well, so far it has proven difficult to predict how the world will adapt to 3D printing. But one thing is certain, this technology is here to stay. Thanks for watching us today, and great to have you again, Professor Jia. And folks, we'll see you next week.